That I haven't forgot about Sarah Palin. Let me get Sarah Palin and McCain. I'm not avoiding this. Folks, I'll say again, Sarah Palin is not a Tea Partier. She spoke there, but she is a Republican. And if she, and I've interviewed her a couple times for my newsletter and the radio show, but I haven't gotten into any of this kind of thing. We talked about her bio and her book. So my guess is as good as yours. But I think if she's going to have a political career, it's going to have with a big capital R next to her name, not a capital TP or some other party, not third party. She's going to go Republican. And there are just rules. Politics is repulsive to a lot of people for a lot of different reasons. But the one thing that she knows, I mean, you've seen the story about how she went into Daytona and totally took over the place. Danica Patrick, who? Sarah Palin went in there and was mobbed at the Daytona 500 on Sunday. She was in there to speak, I think, to the Daytona Chamber of Commerce on Monday. And she went into the driver's meeting before the race on Sunday and got standing O's from everybody on every crew. He could not get out of there signing autographs. And there's one person that made that happen, and that's John McCain. If McCain had not picked, despite whatever happened during the campaign, to belittle her and a closed budget and all this stuff, one thing she knows is that Sarah Palin, nobody would know any more about her than they knew before McCain picked her, were it not for the fact that he picked her. You remember how upset everybody got at George W. Bush back when Specter was still a Republican, was running in the primary against Pat Toomey. And Specter was a Republican disaster, but Bush is out there endorsing him and raising money, and I think he had a couple campaign appearances. And what the hell is this? Why didn't he get behind Toomey? Where are the conservatives? It is a problem in a lot of people's. This is just how parties work. This is why, folks, the Tea Party movement must stay oriented on reclaiming the Republican Party and not going third party, but reclaiming it and then establishing a new set of principles here that rewards conservatism first, foremost, and down the line. It's going to be a slow evolutionary process because the rhinos are entrenched in this party, and a lot of them are very wealthy, personally and as corporately, and they're not going to give up the power that they've got easily. It's going to be an ongoing battle. We've talked about this battle for 2 years. As conservatives, you and I know that we're persona non grata in the Rhino Republican Party and in the liberal Republican Party, the New York elitist Washington corridor Republican Party. We know those are the people saying the era of Reagan is over. They're the ones that didn't like Reagan in the first place. It was embarrassing. They don't like abortion. It boils down to the social issues with these people. There's this new group of Republicans called the Mount Vernon Group. And they're coming out with the position papers on stuff. Republican Party's fighting the Tea Party people now for control of the party. There's a big battle going on. And I know personally 4 or 5 of these very prominent members of this Mount Vernon group said, I'm not joining if the social issues are going to be part of our mission statement. I don't want any part of it. Meaning they don't want this party having a thing to say about any social issue, not just abortion, but anything else that's cultural. They want it to remain fiscal and political only, not cultural. So the battle is going to be raging. And I hate to put words in Sarah Palin's mouth because I'm just guessing, and I'm neither defending nor criticizing. I'm just observing, and I think I understand why she's doing this. I don't think in her mind she has a choice. She wouldn't be who she is. She wouldn't have all of this opportunity in front of her had McCain not chosen her. So this is the obligatory payback, and I think after this it's over. This is... what would you say? The right thing being done that is required, given circumstances, and then don't talk about it anymore. Don't go and do any appearances. Don't do that. Just do the endorsement and move on. And we'll see if I'm right. Usually am. But I haven't spoken to her about this, so I apologize if I've got this all wrong. I'm not trying to put words in her mouth. I was asked what I think about it, and that's what I think about it. And frankly, one more thing, it doesn't matter. I'm going to be far more curious. Her endorsement of McCain doesn't dampen anything I think about her. It has nothing to do with it. This is issues to me. And we'll just look for consistency on that side. But I'm not kingmaker. I even feel a little strange here saying, I'm going to be watching. I'm just a guy on the radio telling you what I think about it every day. And that's what I'm doing here. also have to think of something else here, folks. Imagine if Sarah Palin had not endorsed McCain. Can you imagine the media field day with the following? Oh, wait a minute. Governor Palin, he's good enough to be president? He's good enough for you to be his vice presidential running mate? But he's not good enough to be senator from Arizona. Can you imagine what they do? And by the way, anybody who seriously read her book knew that she would do this. She doesn't have one bad thing personally to say about McCain in her book. With all the setting the record straight that she did vis-a-vis the McCain campaign and some of the staff, every comment she made about McCain in her book was positive. But I shudder to think what would have happened if she'd endorsed somebody besides McCain and the media gets on this. Oh, yeah, he's good enough to be president, but not good enough to be senator of Arizona. You know, loyalty is loyalty. And sometimes people want ideological purity over loyalty and not realizing that loyalty is actually part of a... by the way, Joe the Plumber's backed off, too. BigGovernment.com. Joe the Plumber says he shouldn't have said what he said about Palin, that he likes her and thinks that she'd make a good president. Hillary Clinton has said that if Palin's elected president, she's going to be visiting Canada a lot more, which is where Clinton's girlfriend is. So there could be a double meaning there, but I mean, that's not a bad notion, Hillary in Canada.